Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? We are here talking all about making heart-centered sales today. I'm super, super excited. Don't know what just happened to Miss Jenna. We lost her. But for those of you that are joining me today, let me know that you're here in the comments. Hashtag live if you're here live. Hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. As always, if you have any questions at all, pop them in the comments. I promise I will circle back around. We've got 2 new people coming in. All right. If you want to join me inside of the Zoom room, please do. Just go ahead and click on the email that you used or that you got today about our live. And there is the Zoom link that will bring you directly in here so that we can have a conversation and you can actually take away this great training that I'm giving you. So let me just go ahead and press record. Awesome. So we are actually on day 4 of where to find paying clients in any economy. And this has been super, super fun, you guys. Like, this is one of my favorite things to do, is to actually teach and share and give great value that I know is absolutely going to serve you in some way, shape, or form. So super, super excited that you're here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Chris Williams. I am the creator and the founder of Activate Abundance Academy. It is my signature program that teaches women how to grow 6-figure businesses without trading their integrity or their well-being for success. And so everything that I'm teaching you here in where to find paying clients in any economy is a little snippet of everything that you get inside of Activate Abundance Academy. So if you like what it is you're hearing here, definitely let me know. And if you are looking for any additional support in actually building and growing your business, we can absolutely hop on a quick call. Again, I don't do discovery sessions. I'm not going to ask you for an hour of your time. Really, what I'm looking for is to support you in something very specific around any questions that you might have around the support that you feel that you need to create a 6-figure business. And I always help you make an empowered decision, whether it's around joining Activate Abundance, which is my year-long program, or joining us inside of 6-Figure Foundations, which actually starts in a couple weeks on November 9th. My only intention is to support you in making a decision that works for you and whether or not it's going to help you reach your goals. And if I can't help you, or if you're no problem, I will definitely figure out what it is that you do want and help you get that. So let's dive in. We have been like on fire the past several days. We talked about, quick recap. Day 1, we actually downloaded the guide and we talked about where you were specifically on the pathway. So I'm actually going to share that so I can share my screen with you guys. And we talk specifically about really making sure that you're clear where you are. So some of you might just be starting out. Hey, Miss Wendy Nickel, I'm so glad you're here. And Christina and Melissa. Maybe you are just starting out, you have no clients and you're not sure where to find them. You need help now. Amazing. This is a great spot for you. Maybe you have a few clients, but you're like, it just feels like dumb luck. You know, they're just magically coming my way and I'm not really sure how to actually repeat that. So that is totally fine. You are welcome here. Maybe you've had lots of clients and you feel like you're making good income, but it's not consistent, right? So as we start to build and grow our business, a lot of times we tend to have these big months that feel amazing. And then all of a sudden no months or no money coming in for a couple of months. And it's like, what's going on? And so if that's you, you're probably going to, feel like you're tired of trying to figure this out alone. And you really want to figure out a way that you can have consistent income and consistent clients. And then lastly, you know your ideal client well, you know where she hangs out, you attract her easily and consistently every single month, and it's actually fun. That's really where we want to be. So if any of these first 3 spaces, you're just going to want to, no judgment, no blame. We just want to know where it is that you are. So day 1, for those of you that are just joining me today, I want to invite you to go into the guides section inside of the Facebook group. Sorry, guys, I'm just moving some things around here on my page so that I can see everybody a little bit better as well as the screen. So go into the guides section. at the very, very top, there's a little tab, and day 1, day 2, and day 3 are already in there. So you can absolutely take a look at any of the replays. I'm definitely not going to go through all of this because we've already had over 3 hours of training so far. So day 1 is, who is your ideal client? In order for us to find her, we need to know who she is. Then on day 2, we talked about specifically where to find your clients. That was really, really exciting. A lot of you noticed that you were not actually looking for her in the right place. So day 2 is all about where to find her. Yesterday, we had so much fun uncovering what do they want and what can you use to actually bring them into your ecosystem and give them something of value, right? So before anybody works with you, there needs to be an experience of know, like, trust. They need to know what you're doing, how you can help them. And so we talked about creating freebies. I gave you 21 freebies that convert, that also attract soulmate clients. So you can absolutely dive back in and take a look at that. By the way, this is a great workbook for you to print out if you haven't already, and keep it on your desk because you can refer to it over and over and over again. We also talked about where to share your freebie. And today we are all about how to invite people to work with you easily. If inviting somebody to work with you feels a little wonky, type yes in the chat. If you're like, oh, I just really am not sure how to actually invite somebody into my program or to my offer, or I don't want to feel salesy, right? Like, that's one of the things that I hear a lot of my clients is, what do I say? How do I actually invite somebody to work with me? And so if that's you, go ahead and type yes in the chat either way. I know that I felt that way when I first started my business. And we get to start first with our mindset. So today we're going to dive all about how we actually get to do this in a way that feels easy, in a way that feels supportive to them, in a way that feels really natural and aligned with us as heart-centered entrepreneurs. There is a reason why many of the tactics, and I do call them tactics because they're not systems, they're actually tactics that don't feel aligned for us as wellness entrepreneurs, because we have a heart for service. We have a heart to share and to impact lives. And so when it comes time to actually invite somebody to work with us, it feels off, right? And so the masculine tactics out there of just go book, 50 discovery sessions and hopefully you'll close, a quarter of those, and to teach you how to actually close the deal, that doesn't feel good to us and it doesn't feel in alignment for us. So if that's you, absolutely pop yes in the chat as well. I know for me, that's how it was for me. Again, I have over 30 years in the wellness industry as an entrepreneur, starting as a yoga teacher, massage therapist, meditation teacher, health coach, life coach. And now I get to actually share the business acumen that has allowed me to create $1 million in my business in over 3 years, just in 3 years. And I'm telling you, what it is that I'm teaching you absolutely works. My clients implement it and they get these amazing results, and you will too. So how do we invite people to work with us easily? Inviting people to work with us does not start with what to say to them. It starts with, what do we need to believe about ourselves, the world, and for us to be 100% enrolled in ourselves. Right? We can't expect other people to believe in us if we don't believe in ourselves. And yet we do that often, right? We're like looking for affirmation that if, somebody else thinks that this is a good price, or if somebody else thinks that this is a good thing, then I'm okay. That is trying to build your business from the outside in, and you will always be disappointed if we try to do that. So we don't want to do that. This is an inner game first. And the formula that I share with my clients is the inner game, which is our mindset and the energy that we're in, plus the outer game, which is the strategy and the inspired actions that creates abundance. And so we have to start with the inner game first. Inner game is always first. And so inner game is mindset and energy. Mindset and energy. What do I mean by that? Mindset are the thoughts that we think. Energy are the thoughts combined with the emotions that have us feel something. So think about it. If we're in the energy of fear, or if we're in the energy of, I just got to close the deal, just got to close the client, what energy are we in with that? Chances are we're in a very scarce, hustly, needy, energetic space to be in. And that never translates well. Can you sign a couple clients from there? Sure, I've done that before, but it certainly doesn't feel good for me. I can guarantee you that. And that's not something that I ever want to, once I stopped doing that, I never went back. So the first place is to get in the energy of what is the energy that you want to be in when you're having a conversation to support somebody in making an empowered decision. And that is the key here. We're not trying to close the deal. We're not trying to sign the client at all costs. We're really also not trying to overcome somebody's objections, because that sounds like we have to try to overpower somebody in order to get them to say yes. So if we're in that energy, we're in the wrong energy. So first, we get to believe in ourselves and be like, you know what? I know that what it is that I do is valuable. And my intention is to serve. My intention is to always come from a place of service and generosity, and to really listen to what it is that somebody else wants. My intention is not to drag somebody across the finish line at all costs. So we have to first believe in ourselves and uncover, what is it that we believe about ourselves? What is it that we believe about others? What is it that we believe about the world, in order for us to feel confident about inviting someone to have support. Now, hear me when I say this, we are not inviting somebody to give us their credit card number. We are inviting somebody to have support in having their transformation. This is about them. If we start feeling wonky, and if we start feeling like, oh, I can't reach out to somebody, I can't actually invite somebody to work with me, that means that we've actually made it about ourselves instead of the support that we can offer for somebody else. And we have to switch that, because it's not about us. It really isn't. Even if somebody does decide to invest with you, she's not investing with you because it's you. Yeah, she likes you, she connects with your energy, but she's investing with you because of the support that you're giving her to have a transformation. So I want you to really put that hat on instead. How can I invite somebody to have support to help them get the transformation that they desire? Okay, because if we're making it only about money, then what ends up happening is that we start to judge the amount of money that somebody has in their pockets, or what they're willing to invest in, or what it is that they value, and we're making it about us and our comfort level. So what is in the way of you feeling confident in being able to support somebody in making an empowered decision about the amount of support that they want, right? And how might that change things when you're actually inviting somebody into a conversation? If you are coming from the perspective of, you know what, it's not my job to close the deal. It's only my job to support somebody, listen to what it is that they are, listen to what their struggles are, and invite them into a resource that I think that could help them. Ultimately, it's their responsibility to decide what they value. How might that change the way that you actually approach invitations? I would love to hear. Go ahead and pop in the chat. How might that change the energy that you're in a way that you are able to approach somebody in inviting them to have support? If you're on Facebook, go ahead and pop that in. How might this change? And if you're not feeling confident right now, what's in the way? What's in the way of you feeling confident? Yes, Teresa, thank you. You stop being attached to the outcome. Absolutely. 100%. Christina says that wording changes everything. Everything, right? And notice that the situation didn't change, but the energy and the intention that I'm in changed. Right? So I can either be in a very hustly, needy energy of needing to close the deal and get the client to pay the bills, or I could be in a very abundant, generous, serving energy of how could I actually help somebody get the support that they need. Yeah, how can I support you is so much less threatening for sure. And honestly, we need to know that in order to even decide whether she's somebody that we actually could support, right? I think so often we automatically are like, oh my gosh, a call. How am I going to close the deal? Right. Well, do you even know that you can support her? Right. And that's why these types of events are so, so important. What you're watching me do over the past couple of days are something that I call nurture events, because they're designed to help your potential clients create wins, create epiphanies, open up to new possibilities. And then you get to invite them to take the natural next step if it feels good to them. And then you get to invite them in either to a clarity call, which is what I do. Those are 20-minute calls to help them make an empowered decision about what it is, the support that they might need. Or you can just, take them to an information page, which is what I did with you guys yesterday. So, I've been modeling this for you on how you can actually be in the energy of generosity and service, and also very naturally and genuinely and authentically let go of the outcome as to whether or not anybody says yes or no, and just make the invitation to say, hey, if you're looking for more support, if you want to hop on a call on how, I can support you with other resources, I'm more than happy to do that. But I always come from the energy of listening to how it is that I can help you get the results that you want, not me making a sale for the sake of making a sale, right? The cool thing about this is that when you're in this energy of generosity, guess what happens as a side effect? A sale happens as a side effect. When we're not going for the sale, and instead we're coming from the energy of service and generosity and support, a sale becomes a side effect. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's the way that I choose to run my business. And that's the way that I teach my clients to run their business. So what's in the way of you believing, and I would love for you guys to go ahead and just come off mute if you would, what's in the way of you believing and having confidence of inviting someone to have support? And if you're in the Facebook group, obviously you can't come on live, or so go ahead and pop in the chat there. What's in the way?
One thing that gets in my way is feeling responsible for their transformation. And I constantly remind myself that they have to do the work and they have to want the transformation. I can only offer it to them. It's like that old saying, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yep.
And so I get nervous because as I'm presenting to them what I can offer, I feel like I have to be responsible for their results. And when I can step back from that and remember that it's not my job to make them change, they have to be willing, because a lot of times people won't work with you because they're not actually willing to change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a reflection of me. It's a reflection that they're just not ready to do the work yet. So
exactly.
So that's one thing that I kind of gets in my way a lot. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
I constantly remind myself to step back.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we do need to step back, because it's so funny. Our brain creates future problems that don't exist, right? She hasn't even said yes to working with you yet. And already we're like, I can't, she's not going to get results by working with me. We're like, wait a minute. Can we take a breath back and be like, you know what? This actually also isn't necessarily about our offer. It's about their transformation. So that is another kind of sneaky thought, right? That we're like, oh, I get nervous when I talk about what I can offer them. Well, what about if instead of feeling nervous about what I can offer, we just listen to what is the transformation that they're looking for, right? What is it that they're actually looking for first? And then say, oh, okay, so you want to have this type of experience. This is this transformation that you want. You want to stop feeling this way and you want to start feeling this way. That's actually what I do with my clients. I would love to support you. Here's some ways that I could do that. Would you like to hear about them? Would you like to hear, about ways that I could support you in having this, moving from this to this? Now we're making it about them and not about us, right? When we use the words, here's what I can offer you, that's about me. Right? When we say, here's the level of support that you can have, it's about them. right? So really where we get out of alignment is when we make it about ourselves. And Christina popped in there too, their expectations of me, right? What are they going to think about me? Right? Well, that's about us. We're making it about us. And when we stop making about us, things become so much easier. And so, this next question, what are you willing to let go of to step into the identity of a six-figure coach with plenty of clients? For me, I had to stop making it about me. I had to stop making it about closing the deal. I had to stop making it about overcoming objections. And when I let go of that, yeah, Christina says ego. When I let go of that, it became so much easier to just make an invitation to see. And I always ask too, are you looking to do this on your own or are you looking for support? So here's another thing. I really want you guys to write that wording down because that has been so beneficial. Not everybody that is in our world is going to be interested in having support. Sometimes they might want to just try it on their own, right? And that's okay. So, if somebody is in my world and they're asking me a question, I might say, oh, happy to support you on that. Is this something that you want to do on your own? Or is this something that you would like support around? Doesn't matter to me. Like if she wants to do it on her own, I'll give her a freebie. If she wants support around it, then I'll say, great, let's hop on a quick call so I can hear what type of resources might be the best fit for you. What resources might be the best fit for you. So remember, we talked yesterday about the pathway, the benches, helping somebody, move from a sidewalk down our pathway, sitting at the benches, having an experience. Where we are right now is we're just inviting them to have a seat on the front porch. We're not inviting them to give us their credit card. We tend to jump the gun. We're just inviting them to have a seat on the front porch with a glass of iced tea or wine or whatever it is that you're offering them so that you can hear more about what it is that they want. And once we do that, then we can say, oh, sure, yeah, like you want the master bedroom or you want to hang out with me out by the pool and have this group thing. Great. Then we can, offer them into whatever experience is going to be the best fit for her. Yeah. How is this landing for you guys? Go ahead and pop in the chat for me. Yeah, you love the wording. Absolutely. I'm so glad. Yeah. And you're right, Teresa. Everybody everybody teaches that you need to overcome the objections, right? Yeah. What if you didn't have to overcome objections? What if that wasn't your job? What if your job was only to help somebody make an empowered decision? What if you didn't need to know exactly the right things to say? What if your energy and your presence is what really made all the difference in the world? What if you holding a vision for somebody and just being interested is what matters? How would that change? Yes, Maria. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Maria, that feels better than doing battle with someone's resistance. Yes. Yes, we don't have to do battle with somebody's resistance. Because what ends up happening, how does that feel when you feel like you've got to battle somebody's resistance? For me, when I think about, oh my God, what am I going to say to overcome their objections? It feels very contracted to me. Versus when I just let go of the outcome, I let go of whether anybody is going to be a yes or a no. And I just offer support. That's all I can do. They ultimately get to make the decision about whether they're ready for support now or later or never. It's okay. But my job is to stand in the energy of service and generosity. And my job also, and this is your job too, is not to abandon them on Pain Island. When they are in pain and we don't invite them to get off of Pain Island, we are doing them a disservice because we are making it about us and we're saying that we're afraid of what they might think about us and we're leaving them stranded. And that's not what we want to do. If we're really here to make an impact in the world and to help others create transformation, it is our obligation to show them a way out of their pain. Can I get an amen? Like, I feel like I'm preaching right now. Yes, it's our obligation to do that. So we have to let that fear go. We have to stop making it about ourselves and start just inviting somebody up on the front porch to have a conversation to see if it's a good fit. Right? And if it's not, that's okay. That doesn't mean anything about you at all. So here's how we invite people to work with us easily is we turn this conversation in our head upside down and we actually create a belief plan of what we will read every day that helps us to step into the identity of who it is that we're being and the energy of a heart-centered, generous, service-oriented leader. Right? So what are 5 things that you could think that you could believe on repeat? One of them is, I don't need to overcome anybody's objection. Another one is, I'm helping somebody make an empowered decision. Another one is, it's my responsibility to show them the doors that are available to them to get off of Pain Island. Right? So whenever you're feeling nervous about inviting somebody to see how they could get off of Pain Island, I want you to write down the beliefs that you're thinking, because I guarantee you're making it about yourself and the uncomfortableness that you feel than actually being a stand for helping them get their transformation. Yeah. Another question that helps us move through this is, what would an empowered 6-figure coach do consistently to invite people to work with her? If you were a service-oriented, empowered coach, what are some of the things that you would do consistently to invite people to work with you? You might just make the offer, right? You might just be like, hey, I don't know if this is a good fit for you or not, but I wanted to make sure that you saw this opportunity, or I wanted to make sure that you saw, one of the things that I do, and you'll see me do, and I may have actually done this with you guys already, is, hey, just wanted to make sure that you saw this opportunity for, a where to find client strategy session. You can say yes or no. It doesn't matter to me. What I know is that you're going to walk away with so much information and clarity and confidence with that call. All I can do is invite you to have the experience. My intention is not to sign you into something else unless you ask me about it, right? You're here, you know that we've opened up enrollment for 6-figure foundations. You know the way that I'm sharing and teaching, right? So another way is, look, I'm not sure if you saw this yet, right? Some of you, I reached out and said, hey, did you have a chance to, watch day 2 yet on where to find clients? If you didn't, no problem. Can I share, can I tag you in the guide section? All right. Because the truth is, we think, because we know it's in our head, right? We're in our own brain. We think they already know how we could support them, but they don't know. We think they know how to get off of Pain Island. We think that they should just be like, hey, I want to buy your thing. Well, how can they do that if we don't tell them what the offer is? How can they actually get off Pain Island and even want to have a conversation if you're not sharing how they can do it? That's why it's so easy for me to share and talk about 6-figure foundations or Activate Abundance, because I know the value that's in it. And I know that my intention is only to support you with the results that you want to have. And if you want to work with me now, great. And if you don't, that's great too. Stay in the community, consume the information. But I can't tell you how many people circle back around and say, you know what, I really do need your support. I really do realize that I'm not implementing this on my own. I really do realize that, you know what, there is no perfect time. And it's actually time for me to do this now if I really want to get off of Pain Island. So I have no problem making the invitation, because I see it as just that, an invitation. Right? If you were about making invitations, and I want you to think about this since Halloween is here. If you were creating if you decided that you were going to host a Halloween party, would you not share that with people? Would you be like, yep, having a Halloween party, hope people come, hope they magically find out about it, be really nice if I had somebody help me with all this candy? No, of course you would invite them, right? And you wouldn't get hung up on whether or not they were a no for coming to your party, right? You would probably think, oh, they probably have something else going on. Maybe they have a church event going on. Maybe they're taking their kids or their grandkids, doing that. Not a big deal, right? Because we're not making it about us. So I really want you to open up the possibility and the energy and just be in the energy of an invitation. An invitation that's all it is an invitation. Cool. So what is it that you feel that you need that you still don't have to confidently invite people to work with you? I would love to know. This is my opportunity to just kind of give you some laser coaching to help you overcome any blocks that might be popping up, because invitations have to happen. It is part of a profitable and a sustainable business. If you don't create invitations, if you don't make invitations, you will not have clients. And so we need to make the invitation process easy, heart-centered, simple, and actually joyful. How might your business change if it was actually more joyful to just make an invitation? Yeah. Go ahead and come off mute. I'm just going to stop the share for now, just so that I can see all of you guys. Yeah. Anybody have any questions? I know Christina just popped in here. Christina, did you have a question? I'm so glad you're here.
No, I'm just trying to scramble to get on my way to work, but we got the live on the Facebook went out. So I don't.
Oh, no.
I could, yeah, after 26 minutes. So I don't know if it was my end or yours, but I just figured I would just jump on here.
Yikes. That's weird. It says it's still streaming, so that's so weird. Okay, well, I'm glad
Okay,
I'm
it's probably just
recording.
me, but yeah, no worries. I'm good. I'm good. Keep going.
Okay, cool. No, I just opened this up, like what are some, what would make it easier for you? What would make it easier for you to create these invitations? What's in the
The
way?
room might be more clear if I knew a definitive where.
Where to make the invitation?
Yes, and where to find people who are open and available to it.
Yeah, so that's what we talked about on day 2 on where to find your clients. Yeah, so once we find them, once we bring them into our ecosystem, right? So for example, Paige, I think I met you at TLA, right? Thought Leader.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to use can I use you as an example to answer
Yeah.
the question? Is that okay? So I met Paige in TLA, Thought Leader Academy. I'm writing my book. As a matter of fact, it is done. I'm just going through the edits now. I'm so darn excited. And so, Paige and I became friends, and then I invited her into my Facebook group, and Paige has shown up to several of my master classes to learn. So that was an invitation to come into my Facebook group, and then she got an invitation to come to the masterclass. So that's the nurturing. So the next piece then, yeah, it is. The next piece then would be to just act, you're now in my ecosystem, Paige, right? So I could say, hey, Paige, would you like to explore joining me inside of Six Figure Foundations or Activate Abundance? Are you interested in having support in building and growing your business to 6 figures? Or would you like to do it on your own? Yeah. So that's just making the invitation once they're here though, right? So once they're in our ecosystem, once they've been served and nurtured, then the invitation happens.
I did send a connection follow-up to someone who is a program director for the stroke program at my local university hospital and rehab center, and just asked her have you noticed any gaps in care between inpatient discharge and outpatient services.
Amazing. So Paige, what you're going to do then also is when you're connecting and collaborating with these people is you can actually maybe do a little training or do a little talk or do something, and so that then people can learn more about you, learn more about Paige, learn about your mission and what you can offer. Once they're in your ecosystem, then you make the invitation. So until they're actually in our ecosystem, until they're actually in our world and they have an experience of know, like, trust, we're not going to make an invitation. We only make invitations to people who are already in our warm audience. That should be such a relief. You are not making invitations to work with you who are strangers. because they don't have an experience of know, like, trust with you. And you don't even know if what it is that you're teaching is going to serve them. All right. Teresa, TLA stands for Thought Leader Academy. Yeah. Thought Leader Academy. Yeah. And my book coach, Sarah Cannell, is amazing with helping thought leaders get their mission out through either writing or speaking.
I was in that for 2 years, and I did get the idea that my book is more of a compilation prescriptive memoir.
Amazing.
And I also have a talk put together, a presentation for a pitch competition next week.
Amazing. Paige, keep me posted on that. I want to know for sure.
Yeah, and with Say I Win, I'm going to work with Jesse Cox.
Wow, that's so fun. Congratulations. All right, ladies. Yes, Teresa.
So as you were answering Paige's question, it occurred to me that we do ask or do have invitations that we ask prior to bringing people into our ecosystems. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like asking them to get on our email list or asking them to join our Facebook group.
Yep, yep.
But what if you were to say do a workshop or you were on a summit?
Mm-hmm.
Would you then also want to invite people to work with you, or would you want to invite them into your ecosystem?
Yeah. If you were on a summit or a podcast, that would belong to somebody else, you would actually want to invite them into your ecosystem. And honestly, most summits or podcasts don't allow you to make sales pitches or invite into anything paid because it feels wonky. It's like, you're bringing people in to just kind of pitch the audience. So instead you want to only bring people into your ecosystem that are actually interested, right? So if you were on a summit, and right now I'm running the summit, the Feminine Economy. We've got 26 women that are in the Facebook group that have shared value. They're giving value. And then they're also sharing a freebie to invite you into their ecosystem to explore whether or not they have a way that they could support you in a way that feels good. Right. So that is a piece of the attraction pie that I talk about inside of Activate Abundance and Six Figure Foundations. Is we want to give value. We want to serve first. And then, we're making what I like to call these little micro invitations along the way. So when somebody says, yes, I want to come to your workshop on where to find paying clients in any economy, that's a little micro yes. Right? That's a little micro yes that somebody is interested in a way that I could possibly support them. Every time, then, when comments are made, that's another yes. Then when people come to the actual talk, that's another yes. So what we're doing in the nurturing piece is we're just inviting people to have epiphanies, experiences, make these little micro yeses, and then invite them to take the next step. But the next step is a conversation. Or the next step is, now that you know what I'm about, now that you know what you've learned, here's an opportunity for you. If you choose, here's the way out. Here's the door. Right. And then we naturally and easily invite somebody to take the natural next step, which is if you're resonating with what it is that I'm teaching here, and you want support in uncovering your ideal client, getting your pricing and your programs dialed in, having your signature system dialed in so you can be a standout leader in the field, which actually increases the opportunities and impact that you can make on podcasts and stages and summits. If you want to learn how to do a Facebook group, these are all things that I teach inside of Six Figure Foundations. If that's something that resonates for you, here's the way out, right? Here's the door. You don't have to walk through the door. You can take a look at the information page and see if that might be a good fit for you. You can hop on a call with me and I'm happy to hear about where you are and what your struggle is and what you're looking for. But I've got other ways that I can support my clients too. It's just that I'm showing them a door, showing them a way out until we're actually in either a conversation, or sometimes the conversation happens in Messenger too. Like sometimes people might ask me questions about it. Hey, this is where I am. This is where I want to go. Do you think that this is a good fit for me? Yeah.
This is all making a lot of sense because as you were speaking, a lot of times you'll get on somebody's email list and you'll get their free thing, and you'll get one email or two emails that kind of nurture you. And then all of a sudden you get bombarded by sales emails, not even inviting you into like a webinar or something where they can get to know you more. And I always get turned off by that. And so I don't want to do my business that way.
Yeah.
So as you were talking, it was becoming very clear to me, just from watching how you nurture, how it's so different from what I see a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And it, the visual just kind of clicked. So thank you for
I'm
that.
so glad. Yes. Yeah. I really just want to show you that there's another way that you can do this. And hopefully I'm a model and an example that you get to do this in a way that resonates with you. I'm not saying that my way is the only way. I'm saying that this is a way that has worked really, really good for me. I don't resonate with a lot of the masculine, aggressive sales tactics out there. And so I don't want to do that. And so I've chosen not to. And what I found that I actually love my business more because it's fun for me and because I get to enjoy what I do. Like before I did this live, I was like checking the time. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to teach this part. This is so fun. Like, oh my God, look at my life. I get to do this, right? Like, that's the energy that I want to be in around my business. That's the energy I want you guys to be around your business, because guess what? That's contagious. That's contagious. And that also is what is going to attract your ideal client for you. It's not about saying the exact right thing, overcome the objections, being on all the places, the Facebook ads, the tripwires, the yada, yada, yada. It really isn't. It's just that it gets so darn noisy out there with, everybody doing all of these things that it gets very confusing. And so, my job as a business coach and as a soulful business coach is to help simplify the process so that, look, this is our goal and this is our focus and this is what we get to do. But we don't have to do these other things that don't work for us. We do need to attract, we do need to nurture, we do need to invite. That's something that has to happen no matter if you're selling mattresses or if you're selling coaches, or whether you're a life coach or a spiritual coach or a sound healer or, a massage therapist. We all have to be visible so that people can find us. That's part of marketing. We all have to nurture and just be a real person and nurture those relationships. And we all have to give somebody a way out and actually invite them to explore that way out for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for modeling it for us, because that really helped.
Oh, good.
For me to understand better. But yeah, thank you for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's helpful. Yeah. Anybody have any other questions about making invitations or what's in the way, or totally okay if you're like, oh, I know I need to do the thing and I'm not. It's okay. It really is. This is really more about mindset, right? And we're circling back to mindset again, right? There are strategies, not tactics, but strategies. But the strategy is to understand that the invitation comes after the attraction and the nurturing. It doesn't come first. So you don't need to spam 100 people a day. That's a tactic out there that I've seen. You have to message 100 people a day in Messenger and get them on a call. I'm a hell no for that. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it and I don't have to do it. I get to run my business my way. And so if that's what you want, I'll be happy to give you a recommendation. I'll pass you on over to that coach over there. If you want to run Facebook ads, great. I've got great people that can do that, for you. But really, until you're at multiple six figures, even $500,000 in your business, you don't even want to touch those. Yeah. Cool. You're welcome, Jenna.
I spent a whole year coaching for like when I first got certified, like I was finding my way. So I jumped on with a health and wellness business that I don't know what they're doing now, if their model is still that, but feel right for me from day one. But I stuck with it for like a year. And it just, I thought, like, give them the benefit of the doubt, just follow the model, see, it's working for these people. So, and it just I was never aligned with it.
Yeah.
And so once I made that decision to detach from it and to stand in my truth about who I am and how I want to show up as a health coach to serve people, like all of the right people started to kind of fall into my world.
Yeah.
And one led to another, to another, to another. And I love, like, what I was thinking about the whole time you've been talking is like the words that you choose to use when you describe things, like
Mhm.
this ecosystem.
Mhm.
Like, I love that kind of coaching because I resonate with that so much more than like just the biz speak, you know. And after 3 years of sitting on various workshops and calls with all these coaches who preach the old way of doing things, I love the like the mindset and the energy, because that's who I am. And somehow once
Mhm.
I detached and let go of like all the other crap out there and the noise, like you said,
Yep.
like the right, I fell into the right ecosystem. So, you know, it's helping me to create my own, but it just makes so much more sense to me. And I do love like the visual, like the words you use really do like paint a picture,
Mhm.
and it just like it can catch on to it a lot more quickly.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Like that really
Yeah.
is the intention here. I want you guys to get this piece so that you can start implementing these things. So that's going to be my next invitation to you is actually please implement these things, right? Like information does not equal transformation. I made a post recently, which is really funny. If it was only about information, I'd have 6-pack abs right now, right? Like if it was only about reading all the books, it would be great. We have to implement consistently. And that's really, what I would love for you to do, even if it's just a piece of it, make it yours, take the next step, implement a piece. I want you to have a win. Like that is my intention when I do these, is to not only create an epiphany, but to get you a win. I've had so many people on my master classes actually walk away and create new clients from the free material that I share. And I'm all about that. I want you to have free client. I want you to have clients. I want you to get this information and bring more people into your world and do it in a way that feels good and aligned for you. So Christina, that makes me feel so good. Thank you for filling my heart up with your words, because that is such a good affirmation that, my work is important as well. So I'm really glad that you shared that with me. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Any other questions before we pop off today? No. All right. If you are in the Facebook group watching the replay and you have a question, pop it in the chat and I will be more than happy to answer it. If you want a conversation with me about six-figure foundations or personal one-on-one support, I do have 2 spots open for private clients if you want more of a one-on-one support, or if you even want to learn a little bit more about the year-long program, Activate Abundance, I'm happy to hop on a call with you and, help you make an empowered decision about that level of support. And even if you're unsure and you're not really sure, what support you need, like, let's have a conversation. And if I can support you now, great. And if it's not now, that's okay too. Like, it really is okay for you to be a no. The most important thing that I want people to walk away from my calls is that they feel really good in their decision. That, they're not leaving calls with me feeling like, oh, I really want that, but I can't. Or, I want you to feel a solid no or a solid yes, and love whatever decision that you make. I'm happy, for you to love whatever decision it is that you make. And if I have any other free resources, if you're a no now and you need some other free resources, I'm happy to share that with you guys too. So yeah. Awesome. Wow, we're actually finished early tonight. So those of you that want to join me tomorrow, this was day 4. We went through the whole process. I invited you into Six-Figure Foundations. I've invited you into a call. I've shared with you the value of Six-Figure Foundations. I really do just want to speak into one other piece. If you've got the thought that you're going to wait until next year, please reevaluate that thought, because now is October. And in order for you to hit the ground running in January, you need to have these foundations dialed in. Like, it doesn't work for you to wait until January, because people are making decisions now about what they want to do in January. So can I support you the next time we run Six-Figure Foundations? Absolutely. But I just want to encourage you that if there's some fear there and you're using time, as an excuse for why now you don't want to take action. I just want to remind you that now really is the perfect time so that you can start off your 2024 really confident and empowered and on the right feet. So having said that, tomorrow is the Ask Me Anything session. So over the course of these past 4 days, we talked about a lot. And I'm gifting you a free laser coaching session. It will be an hour from 1 to 2. Anything that you've gone through, if you want to rewatch any of the training, come to me and I will laser coach you on anything that you've got a question about. Why do I do this? Because I want you to see how it is that I work, and I want you to know the value that you get when you're working and when you're in my world with me. And if I'm not going to give you good value for free, then what kind of value would you expect in spite of a paid program, right? So my intention here is to serve you really, really powerfully. And then ultimately you get to make the decision about what is a good fit for you. All right. I would love to hear an aha or epiphany or a takeaway. I really love to kind of close my sessions that way. What is something that you're taking away about making invitations to work with you that is like an aha or an epiphany or something that makes you feel really good? I would love to know. And you can go ahead and just come off mute or pop it in the chat, whatever you decide. Only make invitations to people in your ecosystem. Yeah. How does that feel, Teresa, to take that to be like, oh, I get to do
that was huge for me because I didn't get that. I mean, that was like a missing piece. When you talk about invitations, I'm thinking invitations like, on Facebook or here or there, just like reaching out to people just to like try to get them to work with you. And when you said only to make invitations to people that are already in your ecosystem and your warm audience, it just was like, oh, wow. Okay. So now my focus really needs to be on bringing people into my ecosystem.
Yep.
Then I can start making invitations to them.
Yeah.
So I need to start working more on my attraction piece.
Yep.
So that was a big, huge aha for me. Huge.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Yes. Paige says no cold leads. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't need to try to close a deal with a cold lead. God, that just sounds awful, doesn't it? Like we're not even referring to people as people. We're referring to them as leads. And I know that we need to use some of the language just that people understand what we're talking about and where people are in the process. But yeah, no cold leads. Nope. Anything else, Jenna?
I think my takeaway is that I think my takeaway is just that wording, like, how can I support you? I think that's what I've been missing or just overlooking. It just going back to, I'm not responsible for closing the deal. They're responsible for deciding for themselves what they value. As long as I know that I value what I offer and that I can show up to offer support, it actually takes a lot of pressure off me mentally. So that was really good for me today.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I know that took a lot of pressure off me too. And that was a game changer for me in my business. And so I'm so glad that that was one of your aha moments. Yay. Anybody else want to share? Melissa, Jenna?
For me, it's really similar. I just have to grow my ecosystem, and it's starting to work because I'm talking to those in my ecosystem. And even when they are a no, I actually had a friend reach out to me and goes, hey, do you mind if I give your name to a couple other girls that I know? I was like, no. Do.
Amazing.
I was like, thanks.
Yes.
So it's just, I think I've been afraid to tap to people that I know. And now I am, and it gets easier. It's just still not easy.
And the reason why it's not easy yet is just because of the thoughts that we've got playing on in the brain, right? That's why definitely make that 5, belief system of 5 thoughts that you can think of regularly. You know, one might even be for you, Melissa, because I know your heart so much is if I don't invite them, they are going to be stranded on Pain Island. Like it's my responsibility to just show them the door. Right. And that really is all our only responsibility is to show people the way out. Whether they decide to take the way out or not is up to them. Jenna says, I'm learning about the terminology and understanding the process of inviting people in. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You might have people that say, oh, you know, clarity calls are just sales calls. I disagree because it's the energy with which you move into a conversation that makes the difference. You know, I've heard so much noise out there, you know, oh, it's just semantics. It's really just a sales call. Well, if you can approach it that way, that's fine. If you feel that you need to close the deal on a call like that, that's fine. A sale may be a side effect of it, and I'm fine for that. But it is the energy that I'm in when I'm having a conversation with somebody as to, you know, whether or not that, you know, is going to make me feel generous and in service, or whether it's going to make me feel icky and hustly. And I choose not to run my business in a way that makes me feel icky and hustly. Yeah, cool. Yes, so terminology and understanding the process, right? Understanding the process was key. So again, I don't know where you guys went to school or where you got your certifications, but what they taught once I graduated was actually the last piece, which was making the sale, right? What was missing? How to bring people into your ecosystem and how to nurture them, right? Because that is a very outdated model. There's nothing wrong with having conversations with people, but you have to actually grow your community and bring people into your ecosystem first and then nurture them before that conversation. And that's a big piece that none of the schools are teaching out there. I didn't learn that from my school. I didn't learn that from massage therapy, from yoga, from meditation, from health coaching, from life coaching as a functional nutritional therapist. Nobody taught me that. So hopefully I can collapse the timeline for you guys so you can put this in as a piece and see that this is actually a legit business strategy. And it's a heart-centered business strategy that you can put on repeat that feels really good and natural and aligned. Yeah, you're right, Teresa. We choose how to run our business. Cool. All right, ladies, I hope you have a great evening. And I will see those of you that want to join me live tomorrow. By the way, just a quick reminder, it's at 1:00 p.m. tomorrow, not 4:00. So tomorrow's laser coaching. If you have any questions about day 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's at 1:00 right here in my Zoom room. And I will see those of you that can make it then. Bye, everybody.